And I'm excited because so many projects. All right, you guys are seeing this giant window. This is one of the windows that's come out of my daughter's house, and I've got a bunch of them. She had a lot of 11 windows, and most of them are really big and oversized. So I'm super excited about it. So what I'm going to do right now while I'm talking to you is I'm just going to clean. This window is super, super dirty. It's probably got 15 to 20 years worth of grime on it. So I'm just going to clean the glass and then the wood really good. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you my plan. So the first thing I'm going to have to do after I clean this is this got all the glazing on this was the exterior, so it probably got lots of sun and, wind damage and all kinds of stuff from the elements. So all the glazing's completely gone, so the glass is just barely in there. So I am going to have to reglaze the edges to keep that in. I could just put in some pins to hold it in, but I think I want to just, I think it'll be easier if they have a new kind of caulk that you can glaze windows with. This will be the back side. The other side's going to be the pretty side that's going to be hanging either on a wall, that will hang on a wall. So it doesn't have to be super beautiful, but I do want the glass to stay in and not fall out. So we will be glazing. Look at that, how dirty. Oh my gosh, so filthy. Filthy, filthy dirty. So once we get this completely cleaned on this side, I'm going to glaze it. And then let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm trying not to get dirt on my shirt. Backside. I'm not going to worry too much about it looking great and sanding it or anything. I'll probably just paint all of it black. So right now I'm just going to get the dirt off, and I'll probably clean it some more after we get off of here. But this is a big one. It's 24 by 33, so I think it's going to fit perfect on this guy. Let me kind of show you. I'll show you the bottom here. It's a really pretty design. It's got a bird on it. I think it's actually a peacock. Yeah, you can't, I don't know if y'all can see this really good, but it's got a beautiful peacock and all these gorgeous flowers and a few black flowers up there too. But that's what I want to put on here. This is going to actually be a wall art piece. So it'll be mirrored behind, have this on top, and I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to do it. But this window... Let me show you guys what I used. I used this new caulking stuff. It's a window glazing. And y'all, I am not a window glazer. I'm not very neat at it, but I just wanted to make sure that the glass is not going to fall out. I put this in yesterday. I put it on the back side. And you see two pieces of wood under here because I flipped it over so it can hold it in. It takes 3 days for this window glaze to cure. So I can't really paint the back until this is cured. But I wanted to go ahead and start our transfer. And we got a lot of cleanup we got to do on this front side. And then I wanted to show you guys, I'm still going to use, my ideas changed, and this always happens to me. My idea changed of where this is going. It's actually going to go in my bathroom in my house. I have a big spot that I've been trying to figure out what to put right over my tub. I have a big blank wall, and I think this would be beautiful over that. This is the stuff, guys. It's called Looking Glass, and it's from Krylon, and it looks like a mirror. You can paint glass, and like on the opposite side, it'll look like glass from that side. It looks like a mirror, but I wouldn't say it's one that you're going to want to put your makeup on. It's more like a vintage look. And if you can make it have little water spots, a more vintage look by spraying a little bit of water and vinegar on it. And I'm going to do that, but I'm kind of just going to like do it around the edges so it looks kind of cloudy, and then I want my wall color to kind of poke through, so that's the plan for that. But I'm not going to be able to do this, and this is very toxic, so this needs to be sprayed outside or somewhere very well ventilated, so I'm not doing it in the cottage. But I'm got to wait 3 days. I got 2 more days, and then I can spray it on the back. So I've got these pieces of wood to hold. I want them to hold that glass in so I don't push it out, because we'll be pushing on this to put the transfer on. But right now what we've got to do is clean up the glass. I sanded a little bit the outside. I'm not sure if I want to paint this yet. I think I'm going to have to do something to it, but I think I want to get my transfer on there and think about my bathroom to figure out what color I want. But first thing we got to do, there's some paint where they had did a really bad job painting the house, or painting the windows of the house. And so I've got a little blade, razor blade scraper. I'm just going to go around the edges, and I'll tell you a little trick. If you take Windex and let it sit on your paint, if I can get it to come out here. Come on, I'm about empty. If you can spray it on there, let it sit for a second, it softens it up, and then come back with your blade. When we get done scraping all the paint and getting the junk off, I'm going to clean it, and then I'm going to come back with alcohol instead of window cleaner to get it really, really clean, to make sure there's no oil on the glass, so that the home transfer will stick to it really, really good. So I'm just going to go around these edges right here. Probably sounds terrible. I am Wendy. Good morning. I'm owner of Cottage 321 in Hudson, North Carolina. We're right on Highway 321, hence the Cottage 321. And we're right in between Lenoir and Hickory. We're right smack in the middle of the road there. And if you ever go up to Boone or Blowing Rock up 321, you pass right by us. We are a small boutique, standalone boutique out here in the middle of nowhere. We have beautiful clothes, jewelry, shoes, gift items, home decor, paint, and we're getting into painting furniture and stuff. I also was going to tell you guys, I decided I've got so many furniture pieces and stuff, and I want to do more painting of furniture and home decor pieces. I have a booth now in it's DPS Antiques in Lenoir, North Carolina. Downtown Lenoir. It's a really cool store. Y'all need to go check it out. But I have a booth there, and I've got some of my wares there. Now, it's nothing like the boutique. It is more your antiques and vintage looking things. I have a few flags there, but it's not a gifty thing. It's more geared toward the antique store. But you can find some of my wares there that I remake. Y'all need to go check it out. It's on Harper Avenue. I think that's right. And it's real close to Piccolo's. If y'all have ever eaten at Piccolo's, it's not far from there. It's near Fry Folklore Studio, which that's an awesome place you guys need to go check out too. I love Charlie Fry. He's a local artist that is just awesome, and he has a cute little studio, and he sells art stuff from all different people that do art around our area, as well as his own. And he also teaches classes, art classes, and he's just an awesome fella. Love him to death. And anyway, y'all need to go check out downtown Lenoir if you have a chance. After you come and see us, go check out downtown Lenoir. There's some great places to eat and great places to shop. And now we have a little booth in DPS Antiques, and I love that store, y'all. I bought several pieces of furniture there that's in my house. Great prices, great people, love it. So y'all go check us out. So I feel like I've gotten most of the paint off of here. So I'm going to get my paper towels and wipe that off. Just going to clean that off. This window is so big, I might have to get a little step ladder to work on it. See all the dirt and paint coming off of there. I will have to scrape the back side of this once I get done. If I see that glaze through here, I should be able to use my razor blade and clean that up as well so that it doesn't show through. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. There's some paint right there. Just a couple little places. I just want to make sure that this is good and clean. I'm going to scrape all the way across it just to make sure. I want that transfer to stick really good. I think that might be on the other side. Pretty much cleaned up. I'm going to take my alcohol and I'm going to clean the glass with it, and I'm going to use my cheesecloth. The cheesecloth is supposed to be lint free, and I really don't want any lint or anything on my glass when I put this transfer on here. Clean that up really good. Still a little bit of paint speckles on here. Get those off. Okay. Alright, I think I told you on Wednesday, this is the transfer I'm going to be using. This is Midnight Garden. It's an Iron Orchid Design home decor transfer. But this is what we're going to work with today. So I just got some rubbing alcohol. And I'm going to clean this window really good where this transfer is going to be going. This will help take any of the oils and stuff off of the glass and make sure it's really clean. I still got some paint shavings on here I got to get rid of. Also like fingerprints and stuff like that. Now, I'll have to give a disclaimer. I love these transfers on glass and on mirrors and stuff like that, but it is not what it's meant for. And once you put it on the glass, you can spot clean your window, but you cannot put chemicals on top of that transfer or it will peel off. It will not stick. So it sticks very well, but you cannot take Windex to it and clean it. So you would have to spot clean your piece, or like just with a lint, like one of those little microfiber things to clean it with. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure this is good and clean. I don't want any trash or dirt on it, oil. I want it clean. Yeah, all right. And the cool thing about alcohol too is that it dries up really fast. Okay, I feel good about that. I think I'm going to bring you guys around so y'all can kind of see how I work on this at the same time. So y'all can see the two boards underneath. This is holding up the window off of here so that I don't push it out of my new glazing. Okay, so here is our decor transfer from Iron Orchid. So most of these come with a little plastic burnisher, and we're going to try that out. And one thing I do like about their transfer is you see the grid lines. that's going to be really easy to help see our lines if we need to cut this. But I don't think we're going to have to cut it at all. Maybe on the side a little bit, but isn't that pretty, y'all? I want that bird to be completely on there, so I might slide it over. And I love those ferns, but looks like some of those are going to have to be cut off. So anyway, I like that I have lines. It'll help me cut straight. And whatever I cut off, even if it's just a little sniblet like that, I save that stuff and I'll use it on another project. So here it is. And it's got like a paper backing right there. And I have to be really careful. Once I pull this off of this back, the paper on the back, and if it touches this glass, it's down. If you move it, it'll break the transfer. It'll tear it off. So I want to be really, really gentle with it. So I see right here, I think I'm going to cut. All right, so I think I need to do that third. I'm going to do this. Let's see. Let me look again. Which line? It looks like it's 1, 2, 3. Grid line 3. 1, 2. So I'm just going to cut straight across this line here. And we'll set that aside. Uh-oh. It's really nice to have. Okay, y'all. You ready? I'm nervous. Got to get it on there good. Okay, so I'm going to take the backing off. I'm going to get it away from the mirror first. I think I'm going to stick this paper under at the top so that I can get the bottom lined up, and then I'll move it. Okay, here we go. All right, got the bottom on there. All right. Yay, it's on there. Looking good. Okay, so now we've got our little burnishing tool. And I think I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. Isn't that a beautiful transfer? It's just, I think it's gorgeous. It's going to look good in my bathroom. I'm excited. So again, you just take and you just rub this transfer on. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm going to bring it down closer. As I rub, it'll turn kind of clear when it's stuck to the glass. Put this back up here. I can't see. It will turn kind of a clear once that piece is like off of the plastic, the transfer paper onto the glass. Ooh. I'm going to start raising it up. They call this riding the wave. And what that means is as you go, you lift up a little bit. If for some reason it's still sticking to that plastic, you lay it back down and burnish it some more. Do you see how that just popped up? This is such a pretty, pretty transfer. soft cloth. I'm getting a nice clean. We have we sell cheesecloth, and it is very soft. It's great for using to put on glaze or to clean stuff with or whatever, because it is lint free. So this part, I'm just going to come back and rub it with my, to get all, there's a few bubbles. Just rub it until you can get all that out. Make sure it's adhered good. I can hear the bubbles popping. If you get a big one, you can always put a little pin and pop it so the air comes out. But I'm just coming back and rubbing all of it.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
I told y'all how I wanted the mirror effect on the back of this window, so I did do that. I used this stuff right here. It's called Looking Glass Silver. It's by Crayon. Normally I can buy this at Walmart, but they did not have it. But I found it at Lowe's. It's about $10, $11 a can. It goes a long ways, but it's kind of expensive, but it's worth it. And it gives you that antique vintage mirror look, and I love that. I'm going to turn it around so you can see the back first and show you kind of what I did. This window is so big. I don't know if y'all can tell. I sprayed, and I had to put 2, maybe 3 coats on this. So I sprayed around the perimeter, and I left the center. I did a little bit, but not a lot. I still wanted it to be kind of see-through because I'm going to put this up in my bathroom, and my bathroom has really pretty gray blue walls, and I wanted that color to still kind of pull through, so I wanted to leave some where you could see through. But I did the mirror around, and I sprayed a little bit of water and vinegar, mixed them together and sprayed just a little bit my first go round on there, and then sprayed, and then it just makes it look like it has watermarks and stuff and gives it even more of an old vintage look. I don't know if y'all can kind of tell. I just wanted to show you. I glazed around the window to hold it in, and then I did a couple coats of the Looking Glass spray paint. And then yesterday it was a cream colored window, and it was still just looking kind of rough. I really like all the black that's in this transfer. Let me turn this around for you guys to see. I really like all this black, and I wanted it to be a little more predominant, so I decided I'm going to paint my frame black. Now, in the most, I should have painted my frame first and then did my transfer, but this is how it goes. I got impatient and wanted to show you guys this before I did that. But normally you would paint your frame and then put on your transfer, so you're not having to worry about not getting paint on your glass. But I did it the opposite, and sometimes that's just how it works. I didn't know if I wanted it to be black or not, so I wanted it on here first to figure out what I wanted to do. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to put the second coat of black. It's Black Noir is the color that I'm using. We have here in Farmhouse Paint. We have it in a 8-ounce size or in a quart, and this stuff goes a really long ways. So I'm going to put a second coat on here. And then I'm going to put hardware on the back first because the paint will be wet. And I'm going to show you the hardware I'm going to use. But there's a couple of different things you can use to hang this on the wall. Because this has a little bit of weight to it, and I'm actually thinking about putting some hardware on it to hang towels. I want it to be able to hold weight. So I am going to use, I get this at Lowe's. It's for hanging mirrors, pictures, and wall decor. It's comes in a little packet. I call them a cleat, but this will hold up to 75 pounds, and I think that'll be more than enough. But you could also probably use something like these as well. You could do 2 of these if you wanted to, but I'm going to put the cleat on here. It's got 2 sections. One goes on your wall, and actually this is the one that goes on the wall, and it has a little level that goes inside here to help you keep it level on the wall. And the other side goes on your piece, and you want to make it sure it's centered and it's straight as well. So the way that this goes on, it does have instructions. I call them destructions. So you've got to put it on there kind of upside down. So your cleat, this is going to be hanging on the wall like that, and then this kind of like, it just kind of makes a shelf and it hangs on there. Very sturdy. And you hope that you can at least get a stud on one of these guys, at least one, and then they also have some little anchors that come with it. So this is the wall side, and that'll be for my house, but this is the side we're going to put on the window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark center. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. So all I'll do is, like, when I'm going to hang this, once they're both on the wall, I just pick up the window and it just rests on top of that cleat. Super easy. So I'm going to mark center on this guy. So let me measure this guy. This window is 36 inches, so we need to mark it. So this is 18. I'm going to mark it right there. Okay, so I'm going to center this guy on here. I'm going to get my handy dandy drill. Put one here. Make sure it kind of is lining up with the top of my window. Okay, one more screw and then we're done. Yeah, I feel like there's supposed to be more screws in this. And I may put some more in it myself. I have lots of leftover screws in my little bag of tricks. Okay. So I'm going to put all this back in here so I don't lose my back side of my cleat. Sometimes I'll, like if I ever have to take these down off the wall or something, I'll tape them together so that I know, so that's how it's going to work right there. So I know that they all go together and I won't lose the back or the front or whatever. Alright, so that's done. We got that on. So now let's just put a second coat of our Black Noir on this window, and she's almost done. Let's flip her this way. I'm going to show you my fancy way of keeping paint. I don't want to put tape. I don't want to put any tape on the window because it possibly would pull my transfer off. So if you can find a little thin piece of cardboard, which this is left over from one of my stencils packaging, I just run it along the edges to keep my paint off. I've already poured me a little paint. I've got my round brush. I'm going to use it today because my other brush is at my daughter's house that I normally use. But so we're just going to put a second coat on here. So this is Black Noir. It's the Farmhouse Paint. You guys don't know about our Farmhouse Paint. It's the my personal favorite in chalk paint. It sticks to everything. The only prep you have to do before you paint something is to make sure it's clean. So y'all can see I'm just using this right here as my little edging to keep me from getting paint onto my mirror or my transfer. Just putting a second coat. I'd already put one. That should be all I'll need. I love Black Noir. It's one of my favorite colors. It's such a rich black. It has great coverage. I painted my daughter's kitchen cabinets. Can't wait to show y'all that. I painted her kitchen cabinets in this, and they are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So after I get done with this, if I want to distress this, I can. I can come back and hit my edges and stuff. I don't know if I will, but I'll definitely do a light sanding. What the light sanding does, I do that with our sponge sander that we sell. It just makes it feel really smooth and almost like it's been waxed. It gives it just a real nice buttery smooth finish to it. If you don't sand it, it'll feel chalky. It'll feel kind of chalky on this side. So my sides are raw, and I'm trying to decide. There's a little bit, because you know the old windows used to have the rope that they used, a pulley system for lifting up and down, and so it's got this big groove, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to put a piece of trim across this, but it'd be kind of hard to attach because it's hollow on the edge, or if I just want to paint the sides black, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll probably just paint these sides black and it'll just disappear. I think I just talked myself into that. Then I don't have to worry about painting trim and cutting it and making it work. Show you first. See this edge? See that edge right there? How it's raw wood and it's got like a groove right there. See how that's raw? So I'm going to turn it around so you guys can see this side. So I painted it on this side, and I might have to do some touch up, but it just kind of disappears when you do that. Did I turn it around right? Yeah. This is the side I need. So much for joining me today. I appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Thanks for joining me. Love you guys. See you next time.